Good afternoon. Welcome back to the Perchy TV. How are we all doing? We are back. Yes, a little bit of a day off yesterday. I was at Bournemouth, where I've got the tan from. So I was at Bournemouth Beach with my family yesterday. So I couldn't stream at all. I had literally no signal at all. Watching the air show. If anyone's seen it, it is really cool down in Bournemouth. How is everyone doing? Hope everyone is well. We haven't really had a delve back into what happened on Saturday. Wow. All I'm going to say is, wow, what a performance, right? Listen, I'm probably way behind everyone else. Everyone's talking about other stuff at the moment. Let's talk about Saturday, right? Let's go and delve into it as a chat. And first things first, guys, there's 40 of you in here and only 14 likes. Let's get that straight up. Get 50 likes. That's the rules. You know the rules, guys. As Henry Wright says, pay your rent. Pay your rent. Who have we got in the house firstly? Quickly, let's go through it. Big up, Eugene. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Rinketic's in the house. Dirty Sanchez, Tigaro, Phil Coys, Danny, Rich is here. We've got Druella. We've got Simon from Side Dancer 83's here. We've got Proud to be Geordie's here. Let's see what I'm wearing. I'm wearing the beige top today. Yes. We've got Keith Shields in. Big up to you, mate. Big up. Mark Cousins is in the house. Keith Shields with a throw straight away a question in there. I will pin this, Keith, and we will chat about this a bit later. Neil Sharpton, have you got your shirt yet? Let me know. Have you got your mystery shirt yet? Let me know, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Big D. The Big D's here. Morning, Perchy. 2 weeks until our beloved Spurs play. Exactly. Sheffield United are home. Feel like it can come around any time, right? Hollywood Phil, big up. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much. Listen, welcome to the channel. Welcome. And if anyone else wants to, the subscription button is just below there. We're at 2,130. Do we think, should we be audacious today and see if we can get 20 subscribers in an hour? That would be amazing, right? 2,150. Let's put that as a little target. Yeah, it's a bit of a beer tan. Yeah, it was good. It was very warm. Afternoon, Ryan. Hope you're well. Oh, Daddy Savage, boring, plain style rubbish off me. I'll get, how about this, Geordie? I'll get some more wild shirts. 5-2 Spurs, enough said. Tiger, let's delve into it, guys. Peter's in here. Big good afternoon, mate. Martin Knightsbridge. Let's go. Let's delve into it. Let's delve into it. Right. Let's talk. Spurs versus Burnley. You thought, going to Burnley, what's going to happen? Are we going to get the performance that we expected? I think we got more than that, right? More than that. I thought we were outstanding. I think early on I went, oh, God, 5 minutes in, we're 1-0 down. I'm like, oh, no, this is going to be a bad day in the office, right? Bad day in the office. But the one thing what we did, which was brilliant, the one thing we did, which was absolutely brilliant, was we bounced back, right? Showed us down the other end what we can do. Brilliant counter. It was actually, do you know what? It was Conte-esque counter-attack, right? It was proper Conte-esque. Pressed. And then look at that. Solomon and Son were brilliant. They linked up so well in that first goal. And then the little dink, and you go, oh, that's just disgusting from Heung-min Son. But everything we've been saying on this channel, right? What have we been saying on this channel, guys? Play Son as a number 9. We play Son as a number 9, and we goes against a hat-trick. And we finally dropped Richarlison and go and batter teams. What can I say? What can I say? Yeah, Romero's rocket, Maddison's masterful finish, and then a couple more from Sonny that were just magic football. We played some brilliant stuff in that second half. I think what we did, we caused so many problems for their fullbacks. They didn't know what to do. I think it was I can't pronounce. I forgot his name. The right back and the left back just had an absolute mare against us. We were pressing high, showing what we're made of, right? May long that continue, right? May long that continue. We want to see more of that. Much more of that. Let me just see. 1 second. Just send the link quickly to someone. Where's the cough, man? The cough normally comes on and I haven't heard from him today. I get worried when Ben's not around. Oh, here he is. Oh, that's fine. Okay. So apologies. If anyone wants to come on, Dago, I've just seen you in the chat. Dago, if you want to come on, my friend, you're always welcome. Just pop us a message. I'll send you the link, mate. Yeah, I thought we were outstanding, right? I thought we were outstanding. I think everything that I've been saying, Son down the middle, Solomon out wide. So here's the question: do you play? Here's the question. I'm going to leave it with you in the chat. Sheffield United are home in a couple of weeks, barring no injuries in internationals and whatnot. Do you play the same front three? Because I think, barring that, the rest of the eight picks itself, right? The rest of the other eight pick themselves if they're fit, right? Everyone else. I think that front three is the talking point. Do you keep the same one against that we beat Burnley with, or do you drop in a Brennan Johnson, right? Do you bring in Brennan Johnson in to what do you think? What do you say? Yeah, Dago, I'll send you over, mate. There you go, my friend. You can have a little chin wag about it. Yeah, so what people's thoughts? Do you think we had a good game? I thought we were outstanding. Do you want to see that same front three again with Solomon? Because I'll be honest, I thought Solomon was brilliant. He got a lot of stick from people very quickly, and we're very good at it. What I'm now doing, big up Lee, hope you're well. What we seem to do a lot of at the moment as fans is we're so knee-jerk, right? So knee-jerk. I thought what we did was so smart. I thought the way we played football was something else. I thought we were great. On Saturday. Yeah. I don't think Richarlison comes back in. You think move Kulusevski, and put Solomon, Johnson, and Son? I don't know. Listen, let me know, you guys. Let me know if guys in the chat, put your front three in for Sheffield United. Your front three. I think the rest of the eight picks themselves. Put your front three against Sheffield United. Ignore if there's injuries or suspensions or whatever and all that lot. Put your front three in that you would have in. For me, I think you go Johnson, Son, Kulu. That's my three. But I'd love to know if people change it up. There's no right or wrong answer here. Morning, big up, Chris. You think Johnson in for Kulu? Yep, I'm not against that either. Johnson over Kulu, yeah. Again, if that's what I think that's what people are saying. Solomon, Son, and Johnson, yeah. Oh, here he is. An absolute legend himself. How are you doing, Dago? How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, Perchy, brother. How are you?
Oh, I'm all good. A little bit tanned. Went to Bournemouth Beach yesterday. No streaming. Had no signal, so I didn't get any of the football results until the evening. Yeah. Listen, we're talking just in the moment, mate. Quickly, I'll welcome into the show and stuff. So we're just talking quickly about the front three. Massive talk about, because I think 8 players pick themselves if they're fit, right? At the moment, you could argue 9 if you put Son down the middle, but let's just say 8 for the conversation. 8 players pick themselves, barring that front three, barring injuries, barring suspensions, and all this malarkey, and whatever happens. Who would be your front three against Sheffield United, and why?
See, I think it's the relevant talk. We discussed it earlier on Tottenham on tour, and I understand why Brennan Johnson was brought in. Yep. I understand for that pace. I mean, you got to look at the pace down the wings. Solomon and Adoji on the left.
Agreed.
Potentially Porro and Johnson on the right, which is just scary for getting the ball up there. I think the way to look at this, you said 9 people, 8 people, if you don't put something in the middle, pick themselves. I look at it the same kind of way, but the way I look at it is the person whose position is most under threat right now is Kulusevski's. Like you could say when
agreed. I think that's fair.
You could say when Bentancur is up to fitness, whenever that may be, and ready to come back, you'd say Papa Matasar. Well, probably because you're not dropping Basuma and Maddison. That's just, we know this.
Yeah, that's true.
The competition will be that place. I'm not looking at it as in who I'm looking at it whose position is most under threat, and I'm a big fan of Kulusevski's. I really am. I think he is a terrific player, but I don't know if that right wing with the way Ange wants to play is going to suit him, with him being as predictable as he's becoming, and the sheer lightning pace that Brennan Johnson offers. And that's the way I'm looking at it. I just think, God, that would be a front line that Cousins just put up. Jesus Christ, if we all had them in their heyday that you just put up, bloody hell. That would destroy any defence, barring none. Simply, you wouldn't be able to live with it. But yeah, that's the way I'm looking at it right now. That I think Kulusevski is the one that right now needs to. I think he'll start against Sheffield United. I think he will start.
You think he
I
starts
think he
Brennan
will
Johnson?
start, and Brennan Johnson will come off the bench. But
Okay.
I think moving forward, that will be the front line. I think Son has just confirmed where he needs to play. Solomon, 2 assists, and that pace down the left. I thought it would have been Perisic ahead of him, but Solomon did a cracking job in that first half and started the second half. And yeah. I think we've got to look at Kulusevski maybe being the one under threat with Johnson.
Yeah, I agree. I think, do you know what? The one thing that we do have at the moment, with Solomon and Johnson now, is you've got players that don't have an out-and-out position, right? They can play on the left, they can play on the right. In game, if it's not working, you can switch them over, right?
Yep.
I feel like with Son, when he was out on the left and Kulu on the right, I felt that was nailed on. That's where they're playing. They're not moving from that. I felt Son down the middle, and it was a lot of us have been craving for this to happen. I've said for weeks, you've got to give Son down the middle. I think it will work. So many people saying, oh, you can't do that for Richarlison's confidence. You can't. Well, it proves you can, right?
Yeah.
I'm one of these, and you know me. I'm not sentimental when it comes to things. I don't care. I want the best for Tottenham. And if Son playing down the middle is the best for Tottenham, then so be it. I'm all for it. I thought Son down the middle was one of his best games I've seen him in a very, very long time for Tottenham. Genuinely. Yep. I thought he was seamless. I thought he was brilliant. And do you know the one thing I keep saying all the time, Brian? He was unpredictable. Him out on that left-hand side, however good of a football player is, he's very predictable. Very, very predictable. Same in the same sense as Kulu on the right. Very, very predictable. What did we have which we didn't have for a very long time? Yeah, we were winning games, but what did we have? Unpredictability. I thought Solomon, people gave him a lot of stick at first half, and I went, look at what he done. I thought he was brilliant. I thought, yeah, there were some nervy moments. It's first start for the club. It's expected. Yeah. But he grew very much into the game. And I tell you what, the one thing I saw from him, which I hadn't seen from a lot from the guys out wide for a while, gets it in the box. That assist for Son for Son's second goal. People go, it's just a square ball across the box. No, what he's done is he's jinked past the player, put it into the perfect spot for Son to bury it bottom corner. I thought it was a very, very underrated. It was a very underrated performance from Manor Solomon, and I think he deserves a lot of credit. I thought he was really, really good. I thought Kulu had a better game. I saw a lot more from him than I did, but you're right. I think you're right in the sense of Brennan Johnson. His pace is going to be so vital in this team. So vital.
Yep. I mean, first of all, before I talk about Son, I just have to say I've been admiring your hair, and I think you've got the same people as Toby Alderweireld for your hair right now, because that thing ain't moving.
I did it in the timer. It was all good. It was a bit of a mess when I sat down and went, okay, I've got 5 minutes to get this done.
Mate, that is Toby-esque. That is Toby-esque is all I can say. I don't have, thank God, when I do this.
What do we think, guys?
It's definitely Toby-esque. You're definitely, whoever that is, you're definitely being sponsored by Toby Alderweireld. Son,
I'm always will be.
Do you know what I will say about Son? And Gary Lineker or whoever was doing it on Match of the Day, I don't know if it was Gary Lineker or Genius that said it or whoever was Ian Wright. The thing I loved about what Son did that game was the second goal, where Solomon was coming, and instead of running into the box, he saw the space and stood back and allowed Solomon to pass it back to get the angle, to get the opportunity. And I think that's what Son's adding to his game. I think I saw that, and I didn't see it where they were shooting right in front of us. So the view we had, we couldn't actually see the ball hit the back of the net, but we saw the shot, obviously. Son is being very, very clear. If he can add that dimension of just Sheringham-esque kind of, rather than
Yeah.
running into space, thinking about the awareness and having the space around him. And with those players with pace, you've got to remember, Son may be quick, but he's not Solomon and Johnson quick. So finding the space and not just bombarding straight in. And obviously, like Rob said as well, with Maddison supplying a front three blessed with pace and his passing accuracy and his range of passing, that front three that Brian has put up there, love that name as well, Brian, spelt the right way, isn't it? I hate it, or I don't hate it, but when people say to me, are you Brian with an I or an I or a Y, I say I'm Brian spelt the correct way, and then see if they spell it the right way. Normally they do. But that front three there, it just, all I see is searing pace. Searing, blinding pace. And as Johnny said on our show, Johnson is only second behind Carl Walker for pace. But he does it with the ball at his feet. So adding that to our game is just frightening. It really is frightening.
No, I agree. Before we move on, big up to Tigara, real support of this channel. Much love to you, mate. Not having Spanish ball for 2 weeks makes me sad. I know. We've got to sit back and watch Gareth Southgate play football, and it's quite ironic, isn't it? Maddison moves to Tottenham, and all of a sudden he's back in the England setup. I mean, it would have shocked me if he didn't pick him. I thought let's actually, do you know what? Forget about Gareth Southgate. Let's talk about James Maddison.
With the greatest pleasure.
What a signing. What a signing. Yeah, dart, boom. I thought his goal, at first you went, he's just going to bend that into the corner and it'll be seamless. Look at it from the other angle. He has to put it in the corner or it's not going in. The keeper saves it. And he had another one not a little earlier on from the game where James Trafford makes a really, really good save, by the way. A really, really good save. And I just thought, do you know what? He's a breath of fresh air. The one thing what Maddison's got, and I said this, and I'll say it out right now, people, he will get 20 goal contributions this season for Tottenham. Easy. I think he could get near a 30. Everything good about Tottenham goes through him. Absolutely everything. Go on. I want to hear your plaudits on the man.
Yeah, mate. Well, first of all, what I will say, big up, Phil, brother. What I will say about James Maddison is his attitude and his love for being a Spurs player is second to none. Whether it be when he was trying to pretend to kick the ball, Son's ball into the crowd, just little things. The corner flag incident. When he came, I knew we were signing a player and a half. When it comes to passing range, when it comes to set pieces, when it comes to long range shooting, but I didn't realise the influence he can have on other players, the calmness of him, and most importantly, I didn't think he could run with the ball and get the ball up the pitch like an Eze, like a Dembele, not saying he's doing it to that level of a Dembele, but he is surprising me week in, week out. And just he has settled into life in London and at Tottenham like he's been there for a lot longer than a couple of months. He is,
I agree,
a wonderful footballer. I mean, we all knew he was good. We all knew he was fantastic. And if you wanted creativity, the first thing you think of with James Maddison is creativity. He has been absolutely sensational for Tottenham Hotspur, and this is just the beginning of his Spurs journey. I will say right now, there's probably a certain person that's in a different country looking at Spurs going, holy crap. Obviously, he's doing what he's doing over there, but my God, to see that we've scored 11 goals in 4 games, I don't think we had 11 shots in 4 games in some games. The freedom that we're playing at and everything, he is dictating a lot of it. And you know what? It's not just him. That midfield three at the moment, Basuma, Sarr, and Maddison, all complement each other in wonderful ways and allow them to do. It is a perfect trio.
Yeah. No, it is. And you hit the nail on the head. You know, when you hear about people, oh, they need time to settle in. It feels like Maddison's been here 5 years. Feels like he's one of the key men at the football club. And you very rarely get that. And it helps that he's got friends like in this, everyone knows him through England and all that lot. But he's come into this club. And do you know what? The one thing I said, and it showed about the man, and I expected it to happen because it says a lot about him. But what did he do when he came in? He could have easily just gone, do you know what? No. I'll take another number. I'm not going to take number 10. No,
Yep.
Harry Kane's still at the club. That's his number. I'll have another number. He went, no. I know he's going because he's obviously been told he's going. They all know
Of course. That's without a doubt, Perchy, without a doubt.
He's gone, I won't obviously take it now. It's so silly. I'll just wait it out. I'll get the number 10. Massive boots to fill in. And he's just shown everyone why he deserves that number. He's the number 10 of this club. As I said, look at other players that have gone, oh no, that number's too heavy for me. Happens at Man United all the time. Who remembers Antonio Valencia at Man United? Got the number 7 after, got it, and then the season after went, I'm not having that number, it's too heavy for me, and went back to 25.
Yeah.
So like, my point is that he's come in, and this is such a synonymous number for Tottenham, that number 10 shirt. The greats that have worn the number, the greats that have worn that shirt. He's come in and gone, do you know what? I'm good enough. I'm going to prove I'm good enough. And did you hear about the fact of Chelsea not signing, why they didn't sign James Maddison?
No.
Because he was over 25. He's 26.
Listen.
Wow.
Well, do you know what? I mean, I don't know what you can say about that with Chelsea when they'll spend 100 million or whatever, and you look at it and they don't want to. Chelsea are unwilling to take a player. That's the bit I find unbelievable.
Yeah,
they would take
I read
anything.
it. That they Bowley said that he wasn't going to sign him because he was over 25.
But they've signed Roberto Sanchez, who is how old? I know it's different for goalkeepers, but
Robert Sanchez is 25.
Oh, is he? My bad. I thought he was much older.
Yeah.
My bad.
No, I think he's 25, 24, 25. He's not massively old, but
let's have a look.
Yeah. You might go on mud me if I'm wrong. And guys, whilst Brian's doing that, guys, come on, there's over 80 of you in here. 41 likes. Let's get those likes straight away over 50. Let's aim for another 100 stream. 100 likes in the stream. Come on, guys, let's do that. Smash the likes up. Let's do this.
You're right, he's 25. Bloody hell. I don't know why I automatically assumed he was a fair play. Yeah, I really didn't know that.
Yeah. No. I'm sure I saw somewhere he said he was 25. But yeah, no, I agree.
Thanks, Chelsea. You don't hear me saying that often, but thank you, Chelsea.
Yeah, well, listen. But listen, I think, and this is me with the massive bias on my head, by the way, I'm going to say, I think he fits perfectly in this team. Perfectly in the sense that there's none of it. He's now a new man, new team, new ideas. But he's also the main man, right? He's come in. And also another thing, he could have easily come in and said, no. I've only just come here. I'm not going to be a vice captain. No, I'm going to come in and I'm going to take a leadership role at the football club immediately. First thing I do is I'm going to come in and I'll give you. And Postecoglou came out a few weeks ago and said, no, he's come in and gave his new ideas, new thoughts. And I love that. It's one of the reasons why I said I would love him to be captain. Someone fresh. Listen, and I'll hold my hands up, by the way, guys. Someone's right to be captain. I got it wrong. And do you know why? And it's nothing to do with him on the field. Do you know why, Brian? Have you noticed what the players are doing? You were at the Burnley game, right?
Yep, I was.
You was at the Burnley game. You'll talk this on face value being there. What are all the players doing before and after the game? Completely different to what they've seen us do for years.
Yeah, I mean, what I will say, just quickly touch on James Maddison as well, is if you watch him on social media, when Richie puts up a post, he'll back Richie, he'll go, don't worry, the goals will come. You see him on social media, people call him out as a gooner, and he's like, he's just added something on and off the pitch. What I've seen, and I've been to 2 away games. I went to Fulham, I went to Burnley. Obviously, we're not going to talk about what happened at Fulham. We're just talking about what's happening pre and post. I don't know if it's Ange, if it's Sonny. Sonny's got a lot. I can tell you, Sonny's got a lot to do with it. But also you got to remember we've we've now placed 3 captains in, and Johnny mentioned it as well. That if you look at it, he's been very, very clever. He's picked a defender as a vice captain, a midfielder as a vice captain, a striker as captain. So all across the pitch and the spine of the pitch, not a right winger and a left winger he's got everything down the spine. And he has told them, like, the changing room is yours. You do as you see fit. You do. Obviously, Son is leading it. We know Son and his smiles and when he had a handshake for everyone. But the way the fans, the players are showing appreciations to the fans afterwards. I'd also say Basuma's got a hell of a lot to do with it. He's up in front of the crowd going like this to get them going. I've been to so many away games in my past. Not recently, obviously living in Canada, but I've never seen the away end ever like I've seen at Burnley. And I don't mean Burnley of all places to be patronising to Burnley. I mean, you'd expect stuff like that in a North London derby or at Chelsea or at West Ham or in a big rival. That was just incredible. I've never seen it. The players are so happy when they come towards us. They're spending more time with the away fans rather than just standing a little bit away, going like that and waving goodbye. They're there soaking it in, and that's what this club has need, the bond to be connected again.
No, Brian, absolutely bang on. And what we saw, the complete difference from last year, it was always the same culprits. Culprits is probably the wrong word. The same players that would come over and applaud the fans, and they'll stand on the sort of penalty spot, clapping the away end, and then walk off. We're not just seeing every single player, started or not starting. We're seeing every staff member go over there. There's a massive, and I hate what I'm going to say, but hear me out. We're seeing a culture change slightly. Not when we come higher up. We're not talking about that. I'm on about player level. What we're seeing is we've got. And the thing is initially I thought it was a Postecoglou thing when Stun did the huddle against Brentford right behind the away end, and then I was told actually no, this was all Son's idea. Yeah, that tells me that everything is coming through him, Maddison, and Romero. Going, do you know what, guys? We owe it to these people. These people turn out week in, week out. They had to watch us last season be absolutely awful. We owe it to them. And do you know what? The one thing I will do is I'm always one of these. I'm credit where credit's due kind of guy. Always have been, always will be. I'm one of these. I say it kind of how it is, right? And listen, I will hold my hands up. I said I don't think Son should have been captain. I didn't think he was captain material. I'll happily accept I was wrong on that, but I'm not going to die on the hill for that one. I think at the moment he's leading by example as Harry Kane is at the moment. And he's shown it against Burnley. But now, the next task, what I want to see before, and just like Alex, big up Alex in the chat, by the way. And I know you're going to say I've gone over the top. I know what you're like. You know you say this to me. What I will say, though, and to just back what you just said in the chat, mate, was this. I want to see this when we're losing games. Because we're not going to win every game. Let's be honest. We're not going to do this every game. When we go and lose a big game of football, I expect the same mentality, right? So
I will say, go, Kuva, you finish it. I mean, Kuva. No, I just think Kuva's name. You finish, Perchy.
Oh,
sorry.
I mean, it's an absolute beauty to call me Kuva. What a beautiful man.
Correct.
What I would say is this: is it's all about consistency. The massive C word, consistency. I need to see this.
Thank God you said that word after. You don't say the big C word and then just
yeah. No, but when we talk about it, it's consistency, right? It's consistency. I don't want to see some, which I saw a lot last season when things were going badly, head drop, not himself. I need to see him in this mentality all the time. Win at all costs. Show it how it is. Floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, no, what I will say first of all is you I'll mention the part about when you said when we lose. What I will tell you, and again, I was there, I was right in front of it. When we lost to Fulham, the players came over and spent just as much time with us as they did when we won against Burnley. And it wasn't just the few that stood there and then walked off to get away from it. They owned it, they stood up for it, and they stood there whilst they were being clapped for a bad performance. It was a terrible performance, but they stood their ground and came and didn't just go and walked off. What I will say, going back to the positive now, is it may be all going through Son, Romero, and Maddison, but don't count how much that is to do with Postecoglou, because Postecoglou has come and said, "This is you. You run this part. I'm just here." And if you go back and watch when they came over against Burnley, the first thing that happened is all the players came up and Postecoglou was way, way, way behind, letting them have the moment. And then gradually, he started coming more and more closer to us. And then he took the raptures that he deserved for masterminding that performance. He is, when it comes to connectivity, I'm making words up all week. And connectivity.
Connection.
Connectivity. No, it's a new word. Big up, Kate Darling. Connectivity. It might even be a word. If not, I'm claiming it.
Connectivity is a word.
He's just got it. He's just got it. You got to remember, when Pochettino was here, people will remember the first time people got the feeling that this is something really, really special and something is brewing is after we beat Manchester City 2-1. The one where Raheem Sterling gave the handball away, which was a bit contentious, and when Eriksen scored the last-minute winner and Pochettino came right over to the crowd and you could just feel something was happening.
Yeah.
Well, Ange is doing that already. I have never seen a manager been taken to the heart of, and not just Spurs fans. Yes, when Mourinho comes and I'm not just talking about Spurs, or Conte comes to your club, and Klopp when he was doing that at the Kop all the time. But this man has had to turn a club around 180, and he's done this in 2 months. So whereas a lot of this is being led by the leadership team and the squad, that's because Ange Postecoglou. Do you remember? I mean, people that watch Ted Lasso, and it's when he put the Believe up by the door, and you always saw it. That apart from half time, when the players were set, Ted Lasso was in his manager's room, letting the players have their freedom, letting them do what they want. That's what Postecoglou's doing. Postecoglou has come in and said, "This is your area. This is what you do. This is your you dictate what happens here." And you can just see it reflecting on the players already.
Mate, I absolutely agree with you. And do you know what? The one thing I'm liking, what's so refreshing with this manager, he does it. There's no BS, is there? You just know it. Like, there's none of this. I'm here because this, that, and the other. He's here because he wants to succeed at this football club, right? And it's none of this. I'm bigger and better than you. And this is what I felt with a lot of other managers. I'm bigger, I'm better than you. I know better than you do. No, what Postecoglou's done since he's come in here, he's gone, I'm here because I've been given an absolute opportunity in one of the best leagues in the world to apply my trade. He's come in and gone, and I can't remember what it's going to know. I want to say it was the Man United game, after the game, when he was interviewed by the Sky Sports lot. And they said, was it a prerequisite about playing good football for you to come to Tottenham? He went, no. The reason I play this way of football is this is how I believe football should be played.
Yeah.
And I will go out of my way to play it. I won't change the way I do it. This is how I play football. And for me, I'm so excited watching us play football, right? We play some scintillating stuff. Listen, I'm not one of these delusional ones think it's all going to be roses and ponies and rainbows. And by the way, before anyone does say, if you've seen me on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, and you're going, "Oh, Perchy, you got carried away," doing it for a reason, doing it for interactions. I was testing the algorithm out on X yesterday, and it is so great. Once you know how it works, it's quite interesting. I just put up a tweet yesterday. I don't know if you saw it. On, if Spurs win the league, I will do ... And then it got like about 50,000 interactions. I was like, I was only doing it for a joke, and then it went absolutely crazy. But in a serious level though, like, I'm not sitting here saying that we're going to win the league. I still stand by my expectations are to just have a season. I think you made a great point. A successful season for us this year is to have a manager at the end of it.
Yep.
Yep.
Also, sorry,
Go,
Perchy, I
go,
was
go.
going to say what you got to remember as well, and it is early days. People have got to stop. What you got to remember, it's a very, very early days. We've been starved of all of
Yeah,
this attacking football and positivity for about 3 years. So when a crumb of it is dropped, we're going to gobble it up like it's like it's an absolute feast. And right now, you look at it, we got 10 points out of 12. Yes, we're out of the cup. Let's just take that to one side. I don't think any Spurs fan, honestly, would have said 10 points out of 12. We thought, okay, we'll see what we do. Certainly, you just got to look at the stats to see the amount of touches in the opposition area, the amount of passes, the amount of shots and goals, the XG, everything has skyrocketed up. But what you got to remember as well, and I always will use this one, because James Maddison said a key reason, mate, Alex, listen, I know where you're coming from. And to a point, I completely agree with you, but you have to give credit where credit is due for what
of
he's done so
course.
far. That's the thing. Like I
What he
just said,
has, what he has done is
been given
sorry, mate.
exactly. No, I was about to say what he has done. If we had got 0 points and lost all four, we'd all be going mad. If we got 3 points, 4 points, 9 point, whatever. But the thing you got to remember as well, which is the main point of this, is Maddison said it. A key part of me coming was when Ange Postecoglou said, "Sign or don't sign, you're going to see a different Tottenham this season, no matter what
Yeah.
happens, wherever you go." And he was like, "Right, I want to be a part of this." And you can only judge what Maddison said on face value. And all you can say is Ange Postecoglou was he weren't talking crap. He weren't talking, I want to get people thinking that I'm going to do one thing. He's absolutely, look at the swing of people in the media. Look at the way people are talking about Tottenham Hotspur. Yes, it's only 4 games, but we've had to deal with 4 years or 3 years of battling and hearing our football club spoken about in a very, very negative light. And don't get me wrong, I've been part of that. I've been a huge part of that. I still am when it comes to the board. When it comes to the board, I'm absolutely going to be negative. But you cannot knock what's going on the football pitch. You simply can't.
I agree, and Alex, I'm gonna bring something up with you, mate, because I remember back a few months back before when he was hired, I remember you having a little bet saying that Spurs would get 5 points in the first 5 games. We've not even played 5 league games yet, and we've got doubled that. So I think we've got to remember, like, a lot of people at the start of the window, at the start of the season, way before we saw any preseason, people were saying, no, we're going to struggle. We might finish mid-table. We have a humbling of an opening start of the season. We've got to go to Brentford, which we never win at. We've got to play Man United. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, listen, I think we've got to remember, we've got to go to Burnley. It's going to be a tough place to go to, which I keep hearing. For me, we got to have the same energy, right? If we thought that before, we have to go, do you know what? He's proved me wrong. This manager, if you still got doubts about this manager that you shouldn't do now, he's proven it. Listen, I'm not sitting here saying that it's going to be all great ponies and rainbows. I'm not saying that, guys. But everyone said to me at the start of the season, before any ball was kicked, we'll get 5 or 6 points in the first 5 games. We'll win 2, lose 3. We'll lose to Man United. We'll lose to Brentford. We'll get a draw probably against Bournemouth or whatever. Like, so it's about energy, right? Listen, the one thing there's only one thing that's really a kick in the teeth right now: international break. Because I want us to be playing Saturday now. Keep that momentum going. We've now got the momentum's going to be dropped, so it's 2 weeks out. This is 1 weekend. It technically works as 1 weekend, right? 1 weekend, but it considers 2 weeks. And then we got to play Sheffield United, then Arsenal, right? That's the next 2, right? Sheffield United, then Arsenal. So you think you sit back
and then Liverpool. So you're going to know a lot more.
Liverpool away, isn't it?
Yeah.
Arsenal and Liverpool away back to back. So
no, Liverpool's at home. Liverpool's at home.
Oh, Liverpool's at home. Sorry, apologies. Yes, of course it is. Of course it is. Yeah, but that's the point, though, mate. This is it now. We need to start showing against these teams. Beat Man United. It was a poor Man United team. Poor Man United team. Go to the litmus test for me now is going to be the Arsenal game. We will know where we are in the pecking order on that game. We could win, we could lose, we could draw. but it will be about the performance, where these players are going, where their players' mentalities at. Because I've seen so many, and listen, this always also counts for some of our better players shying away in these big games. I don't want to see it now. I want to see the same football against Arsenal at the Emirates. Listen, heck, we go and beat them. Is it time to get carried away then? Just saying. I'm just saying, is it too soon still? I don't know. But listen, the one thing I will say, mate, and we'll slightly move on because there's a couple more topics. We've got 15 minutes to go before every one of you is going over to Kate's channel and you're going to share the love over there. She's doing absolutely amazing bits. So you're going straight over there, redirected over to Kate. One more topic I want to go, but just before I do that, I said, are you going to revise where you think we're going to finish the season, or are you sticking with your guns on it?
Where have I got? At the moment, I said 6th, and I'm sticking with 6th.
Yeah, that's fine.
Only because right now, like we said, like Alex was saying, right now we can be very, very, very happy with the progress. But if you look at our start compared to like a team like Newcastle, big up Adama, or Adama, we have had, compared to Newcastle, who have had Liverpool, Man City, Villa, they have had a very, very tough start.
Yeah, 4 big games, really. You could argue
it's always, it's not how you start, it's how,
yeah,
it's how you finish. And I'm sticking to 6th. I really am. But do you know what? If we can have another couple of months like we have done, if the players can stay fit, if January players are brought in, genuine players are brought in, then who knows? But I said at the start of the season, like we had with Perchy, it took him a year till things got going. For me, getting back into Europe of some form will represent huge success.
Yep.
And I'm not going to go, oh yeah, we're going to make top 4 easy now. This is going to happen just because we got off to this flying start. I'm sticking with 6th, but I'm a lot more optimistic that it won't be a race for 6th. I think we easily get into the top 6 now, and maybe push for further.
I think the best way to put it, and I agree with everything you just said there, Brian. Absolutely agree with you. The one thing I think what we need to be doing as fans, and I'm not saying I'm some sort of oracle. I know I say it on air as an absolute wind up to you all. I just play around with you, but I'm on a serious level though. I would say this: when I sit back and say no expectations, I think as a fan base we need to get to that level. Go, do you know what? We're going game by game. We win one, we win one. Because I hear people going about title challenges. No. We'll talk about a title challenge if we're in this position, 2 points off the top in March, April time, not in September, right? When we're talking about it near the end of the window, end of the season, not at the beginning. Because it doesn't matter if you're top. It doesn't matter if you're top in September. It matters if you're top in May. So on that side, when people want to hear that, and I'm just going to step back and go, do you know what? No. Listen, no expectations. Listen, if we're top of the league by the end of March, then I'll go, do you know what? We've got to go for it now. There's no excuse. We've got to push on and try and win this title if we can. I'm not talking about it now. When people are here, and I know people are doing it just to get clicks and likes and all this, and I get all that. Like, I do it on purpose as well. Everyone does it on purpose. It's all what we do. But anyway, mate, I'm really excited for our season. I'm just disappointed we got international break, and that's nothing to do with Postecoglou or Tottenham. That's nothing. What I want to do is talk about outgoings. Window slam shut. Boom. Because I put another poll out the other day that there was links with Lo Celso and Sanchez going to Galatasaray. Whether they're true, whether they're not, who knows? Oh, hang on. Breaking news.
Rooty Toot has just put it in.
Where are you seeing this, Rooty Toot? I haven't seen it. Everyone's connected up. Anyway, just as we were talking about, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, Rooty Toot. So, Sanchez and Galatasaray have agreed on a contract. So, personal terms are normally quite easy to go. Not with our players because they're paid so much money and no one can buy them. But here's a serious one. Would you sell one or two of them now if we got... I'm just going to throw a figure out. anything between 40 and 50 million euros. Whoa, are you back, Brian? Oh, you back. Hello? Did you get that?
Perchy, in a minute. Perchy, just quickly. I'm just going to log out and log back in. I think I'm having a bit of internet issue. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to log out and log back in. All right, give me 2 seconds.
Sure. I'll speak to the chat. I'll catch up with you, beautiful people, guys in the chat. I put a poll up the other day. I think it was yesterday, actually, or maybe yesterday in the morning or something. Here's a question for every single one of you. Serious question. If there was on the table, there was, I don't know, let's just say 50 million euros combined for Sanchez and Lo Celso, would you sell both? If it's something like, I don't know, 20 million euros for Sanchez and 30 million for Lo Celso, give or take five or 6 million here and there, do you accept both? Yeah. To quote your dad, Perchy, consistency. Yeah, agreed. Team talk, 3-year deal is what we're being told. Don't know if Spurs have agreed it. No, I don't think Spurs have agreed to deal with it. Brian, I'll get your thoughts.
Yep.
There's enough money on the table now. Let's just say hypothetically that Davinson Sanchez could go to Galatasaray for 15 million euros. And for 35 million euros, Lo Celso also as well. So let's just say some sort of anything between 40 and 50 million euros combined for them two. Obviously, we can't sign anyone. Would you accept it, yes or no? And what would be your reason for it?
So, for me, it's no, not because I value the players and think that they deserve to be in the first team. It's once again leaving us short. Yeah. And if this had been done whilst the window was open and there was time to get someone in, then I may have been very, very different. You look at it, yes, Sanchez needs a move. Yes, Sanchez isn't going to feature. But should a player get injured, we're in a bad way. Personally, I'm a huge Ashley Phillips fan. Remember, personally, I was saying it all the time on your channel when it was there. It was great to see him on the bench. It was outstanding to see him on the bench. How good would it have been if he'd come on for like 2 minutes and been a part of a 5-2 win against Burnley, Blackburn's biggest rivals? But we'll have to see. Do I think it's too soon? Maybe. Do I think it's a little... Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Loud and clear.
Sorry.
Loud and clear.
Okay, perfect. I just think, and with Lo Celso, you can move Kulu into the centre and that frees up... I put it this way, I'm a little bit more... If one of them had to go, Davinson Sanchez or Lo Celso, I'd rather it be Lo Celso. Because you can move Kulu into, or Kulusevski into the part where Lo Celso would play. He's not as injury prone and we'd probably get better value. Defence, we're so threadbare, and I think he's the best one, bar Phillips, that can play Ange's system. So yeah, I would go Lo Celso, yes, Sanchez, no.
So I hear a lot of people go the other way, go get rid of Sanchez but keep Lo Celso. For me, I'll be honest, Brian. If we get tangible money for either of these two players, I would happily sell. And the reason why I said because let's be frank and honest, these two players, I'll be honest, I don't rate either of them. I don't think they're very good football players. And if you can get money, yes, I agree. I don't know if your internet's gone again, mate, but I'll carry on anyway. And then turn your camera off and turn it back on, I think, mate.
That's right. Do you know what? This is bloody.
You're back.
Is it better now without my camera on?
You sound fine. No. It's just your camera. I can still hear you, but your camera just cuts out for some reason.
Yeah.
Like it gives a spot. But anyway, we're going for 5 more minutes anyway, mate. We're going for 5 more minutes.
I'll stay with camera off. You've had enough of seeing my mug. I'll still be here.
Don't be silly. Don't be silly. No, but for me, on my point with this, with the Lo Celso and Sanchez one, yeah, I understand people go, oh, well, we sure if Maddison or a defender gets injured. Do you know what? I'm at that stage where I would happily stick in an Ashley Phillips over a Davinson Sanchez. I'd happily stick in I don't know, change up the system with the players that we do have, even if it means up until January, right? Because I sit back and I sit and think, what we're going to just because we recruited badly in January, we can't now sell players. For me, if you can get money for either of those two players, and when I say money, I don't mean 5 million euros. There's no point. Like, you might as well keep a hold of them for 5 million euros just for the sake of it. But if you're, as I said, I'll play the hypothetical card. If it's 50 million euros for both of them, you surely got to sell, and then a proper football team would sell them, right? You'd say a proper football club would replace them as well. So, what do you think?
Yeah, but do you know what? I just want to respond to THFC Hoff, who has said you don't rate Lo Celso. Think Messi has a different view. I hate comments like this. I really do, because I'm not saying that I didn't rate him. I said right now I think Kulusevski can play in that position and offer cover until we replace him. I don't think Lo Celso is an awful player. I don't think he's a bad player. I think he's a player that is constantly getting injured. I think he's a player that isn't going to feature as much as Maddison. And when you look at it on the player side, he probably wants to move because he's not getting first team football, as he said. So it's not anything to do with me not rating Lo Celso. I've not once said that. I said it will be easier to facilitate his loss with Kulusevski going there.
Yeah, play Kulu in the if you need to short term. You could even play in a situation where you play you could even play maybe even Bentancur there short term. Like, do you know what I mean? It's not like we haven't got players at the moment. Listen, for me, if the money, Hoff, I said it. I don't care.
Oh, not me.
I've seen it. No, he was on about me. He was talking about me because I thought because it was me that said, like, I don't rate him. I don't. I've seen him enough at a Tottenham shirt to go, do you know, this guy's not great. He's an all right player. I agree with you. He's an all right player. But can we do better?
Say my apologies, Hoff. I thought that was with me. I apologise, brother. I do apologise.
No, it's absolutely fine. He's on about me, but it's fine. I don't care. I said, right, you know, I don't care. I say how I feel, what I see.
Yeah.
For me, I've lost the earbud. But my point being is if you can get money for a player like that, why wouldn't you? Listen, obviously there's certain players that I wouldn't accept. Go, mate.
No, I was going to say. I was going to say. What I will say on this again is, I've said openly. I've said I can see into the future as a joke, and I said by 2028, Ashley Phillips is Tottenham Hotspur captain. I think that highly of him, and with what this guy can achieve. But I don't want just because he's there. You got to remember he's 17 or 18 years old right now. Just turned 17 or 18. Yeah. I think he's just turned 18. It's an awful lot to say, right, you're going to be the backup for the centre-backs should anything happen. This guy needs to be bled in. We've got a fantastic crop of youngsters coming through right now. For the first time, we can sit back and generally say the youth that are coming through Tottenham Hotspur right now is exciting. And I am a strong believer if you're young enough, if you're good enough, you're young enough. But I think I want our backup centre-backs to be Sanchez and Phillips, not Phillips and a Davies, a Phillips and a Dyer, a Phillips and a... Because Sanchez can play this style. Will he play it well enough? We don't know, but he has attributes that suit Ange better. But Ashley Phillips is the real deal. The real deal.
We say that, Brian, but I thought against Fulham he was awful. Listen, that's the litmus test, right? The only real test is being against Fulham, and I thought he was really, he was one of the worst players on the pitch. Do you not agree with me on that?
Yeah. What I will say with this, I've said it before, and I can't remember to give the person credit who said it because it wasn't coming from me, but I've hopped on the bandwagon with this. I can't remember who it was that said it. Davinson Sanchez is a good footballer as long as he doesn't have the ball at his feet, which is kind of worrying when you're a footballer. But when it's coming to to get him back into shape, when it's recovery tackles, when it's that, he can do a job. When you put him on the ball, he's horrendous.
Agreed. I agree.
He's horrendous.
I agree. But we're going to be playing a system of with the ball at our feet, right? So we're playing a system with so that for me does worry me. That does worry me. Guys, we're going to wrap up now because I feel bad. I don't want to eat into Kate's time. Sorry, Brian. I don't mean to cut you off. Sorry, lot.
That's not bad.
Because I just realised I did it once, and if I do it again, Kate will kill me. Guys, in the chat, there's 100 of you in here. Before you go, make sure you go over to Tottenham and talk if you haven't already. Why wouldn't you have been? This guy is incredible. Second of all, make sure you smash in the likes. Let's get it over 100. We're at 73. 27 of you, if you've not done it, smash the like button. And finally, stay where you're put. We're going straight over. Brian, I want you to pick a hashtag for them to say in Kate's chat. What are they going to say?
Oh God, you put me on the spot there. Oh Jesus Christ!
How about this? Hashtag Perch and Daigle rule. There you go.
There you go. I mean, I didn't say that. Let's inflate my ego even more. Yeah, I love it. But what I will say,
go finish off.
I just want to say very quickly, we are going live on Tottenham on Tour at 3 p.m. again. We're going live. We're going to do an analysis of the transfer window, solely talking about the players in, players out, nothing to do with upstairs. So if you're about, come and watch it. And I just want to say thank you because in the last 28 days, we're 1,000 views away from 100,000. So the numbers are brilliant. But support all the channels, Perchy's, and especially the new people that are up and coming. And Kate is definitely one of them.
Everyone go and support every single channel within the Tottenham community. Listen, it is really hard work doing this. People think it's really, really easy. Listen, it's not. There's times when Brian, you'll probably attest this. You're up at 2 a.m. building thumbnails or getting stuff, getting guests on for shows. So it does take a lot of effort. But listen, guys, we're going to wrap it up now. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming over. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you, Brian, for coming on, of course. And guys, we'll be back again tomorrow. We'll be back again same time tomorrow. And on that note, have an amazing time. I'll catch you a lot later. I might be live later on tonight with TJ Warren because I can't tomorrow because I'm flying back to the UK, flying back to Spain. So keep an eye out on that, guys. On that note, guys, have a good one. See you later.
Leave you out.